Now, who is the villain slayer? It's something that's sort of kind of an interesting question attempted to answer because there is no straight answer because the information we got of who they actually are is just a photo. The fact, the only reason we got this photo is one the episode of the villain show. I think it was the second or third episode that the virus character reappears in the intro. He just quickly just reappear and just show an image so fast and you blink you miss it, and this is the moment where someone got the photo of the villain slayers. Honestly, we don't know much about them. We've just sort of interpreted the photo what that really is. That probably a team who are specifically heroes who take villains on. That's what they call themselves, the villain slayers. In fact, we don't know they're anti-heroes or heroes or even villains pretend to be heroes to get close to the peace organization could take them down. We just don't know. There's so many questions on this simple photo because we don't know. The only thing we know is how they look, and this was sort of a autograph signed by a fan who they did for the point. In other words, it's like this photo is basically a autograph signed by them, and that's all we know. This is really the cause a lot of questions. Are they actually real? Are they a band or something like that? Or sort of a project in peace they have done that virus, just because it's jaded, you want to be free, he leaked out. There's so many questions we don't know till Anchor or Oraje, if you don't know what that is basically a channel on YouTube. Is sort of a news report in the universe of villainous, reporting things when happening, but also helping the fans understand how the world works and dropping more information on our favorite side villains. But one of those reports they drop the very end in the bottom of the screen, like right here, they actually have more news dropping in the very end of the segment to end everything. They drop something very interesting, something that a lot of people weren't sure is a big deal or not. Of course, before I continue, my name is Rachel. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, what I'm doing right now, and cartoon breaking news if I have some spare time. It'd be great if you do a like, a comment, or subscribe. One of those things really helps my channel because let's face it, I'm a small channel. You also have a goal to pass 1,000 subscribers. Hope I can do that in this year. Of course, you can ignore me or not. If you just want to help, just put a like and comment or subscribe. One of these things really does help. Now let's continue all the theory. Now, this is the moment I sort of kind of realized this could be a big thing because villainous, when they drop information, they just sort of kind of add things to other side characters that the fans want. If you don't know, fans they keep begging to adding to update some specific characters. I mean, not the main lead characters, the side characters that fans kind of grew attached to. And one of them is sort of the villain slayers. In fact, nobody knows how to interpret them till I heard this specific news in of that specific newscast. That's basically where Missy, the town she was to protect, is sort of alone. She doesn't have a protector to protect the town. To some place where from police sent them called the Justice Warrior Friends. And that's sort of a nod to the Justice Friends of the late 80s cartoon. But besides that nod, that sort of kind of clicked in my head. They're a band who are heroes who are trying to give a concert to raise some funds to not protect the town but also fix it. But that's at the same time, my mind wondered, are they just the villain slayers? I mean, it's sort of coincidence that a band who are members who wear the same uniform to convey what type of genre they actually is. And the photo of the very beginning of the year when this first season dropped, the bunch of members, a bunch of heroes with the same theme of heroes, but at the same time, each one have a special ability to actually contribute in the team. And that feels sort of kind of coincidence, even that we don't know the Justice Warrior Friends, who they actually are, or actually look like, because the news anchor never really said anything. It just quickly, small update in the corner that doesn't say much, describe who they are, who they come from. In fact, they just says maybe peace, maybe, if I remember right. I just remember everything right now. But at the same time, it feels just right. It feels something that Peace will actually do send some heroes, but also sort of sell them as a band because Peace has a habit sort of doing double duty, sending heroes, but at the same time sending merch about the hero to making more profit to maybe help the organization become more stronger and feed their sort of villain sort of quest to take out all the villains. But once again, it's just sort of a theory because villainous has a habit of dropping little things. We don't know if they connected to the villain slayers, but at the same time, it feels the same MO of Peace. I feel the photo was sort of a test drive. They one of those things they just not accidentally leaked because virus leaked it. It's one of those they see how people react. Let's face it, if you're a business, someone leaked your own product, you just run with it to see how people react, to see if they do sort of changes or questioning them. Because the Villain Slayer's photo feels kind of threatening. Maybe because need to be heroes to be threatening, but at the same time, it's not basically commercial friendly. But you change the name, change the angle, but just keep everything the same thing, like the Justice Warrior Friends. Sounds friendly, also protective, but also a band. And this is the thing I'm sort of thinking maybe the villains are a band, but also heroes. Just to that take that sort of 90s twist. You know, the 90s was sort of weird. They are always testing weird things back in the 90s, like heroes slash they're a bandmate, they also in high school. In fact, I would not be surprised they went that angle. They went the triple threat. They're teenagers with attitude, they're a band, they are heroes. And at the same time, it makes sense how peace work. That's the pitch they try and do to sell these people to actually make more profit and make sure peace name is always heard to understand we are here to protect. We're not bad people, even we basically throw off our own heroes to make more profit. But besides that, it just sort of makes sense. Especially you see the image of the villain slayer, but at the same time, what type of band actually are. You have to say maybe a metal band, but maybe that's the choice of the band they want to do. And that's why they have sort of slightly tweaked their name to be less threatening, more friendly. Even that the news article down below also say bring some tissues because you got to cry. They try to be the sensitive metal type. At least that's my approach. If they prefer to be more R&B, but at the same time they choose to be more R&B, the clothes, the way they dress doesn't really matches that genre. Or it could be a metal band or a grunge band. I feel grunge band feels work better, but a grunge band with metal tendencies that sort of kind of in between, they be very soft but very hardcore at the same time. Something like Kiss, I might have to say. But once more, that's sort of my interpretation of the Villain Slayer because it's something I wanted to talk about, but at the same time, not a lot of people have theories. Even I was sort of stumbling, figuring out who they are, what's the point of them. And I feel this is sort of a sneaky way to update some information, some specific characters to set them up in the future. We don't know they will appear in the Mystique book or how to beat villain book or in the future episodes. Once more, it's just sort of predictions because villainous is sort of unpredictable. You don't know which character has the time to shine, to update, to understand who they actually are. And this is part of a very sneaky, interesting, fun way to see which fan can actually pick it up and to see their own interpretation. Because at the very end, this show wants you to interpret it, wants you to theorize, they want you to keep talking, to not forget villainous. And let's face it, we are doing this questioning, but at the same time, not a lot of people talking about this specific small news because it's just sort of blink or you miss it sort of situation. But at the same time, it does sort of matches some of the ideas of villain slayers because how little information are and something that sort of makes sense to surprise the fans. I don't know you. Am I reaching? You think this is a possibility? Or what other theory you could think of to actually match this? Or not theory, storytelling's way to tell this story. But to me, it feels kind of fun they do. If I was one of the writers, I'd probably pitch this exact way to tell the story. But do it sort of in TV behind the scenes. doing with piece, they're recording the same moment to evolve them to a next stage of becoming recognizable heroes, but make it sort of comical because Villainous is a comedy animated series. Could be a fun take, something like what's it called, that movie, that's monkey documentary, tip or tap, or it's something about sort of a band you follow. They're sort of making fun of the documentary behind the scenes band. I can't remember. If I remember, I put the photo of the movie I'm trying to think of. But other than that, that's the approach I probably went. That sort of comedy evolving, working with behind the scenes with the crew members becoming the heroes and villains, and teenagers making mock of it, but also appreciating this sort of genre. That could be a really fun, like a 10 or 12-minute episode or 20-minute episode to explore these characters. But what's more, that's the way I would approach it. How you approach these sort of characters. Or you're not interested, you think, nah, this is too much for this type of simple villain sort of idea. You prefer a different way. Tell me your a process that works. No, honestly, I got nothing else to say. Just thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.